Welcome back to Chess on the Brain with National Master David Bennett. So what I want to do is look at how Magnus Carlsen plays Chess 960, Fischer Random Chess, to learn a little bit more about the methods. I think we can probably trust that his methods are good, given that his, what's his rating on there? I don't know, like 2,800 based on the games he's played. And it's become a lot more popular, in large part due to LeChess.org hosting these kinds of events. Magnus Carlsen's been promoting it as well. St. Louis Chess Club has been incorporating Chess 960 into their events. So it's just kind of become more mainstream now, I think, and it's a great variant. It's chess, but just with a different starting position. But that leads to a lot of complications, and right out of the opening, you have to think from move one. You can't play on rote memorization unless you want to memorize the opening theory to 960 different starting positions, which would be pretty difficult. Let's take a look at how Magnus plays here, so we can see. Okay, that's where he played Nihal Sarin. So let's go to advanced search. That was just a regular bullet game. Let's go to source, a variant rather. Let's do Chess 960, and then it should just show up with a filter of his Chess 960 games. And well, his most recent game was 3 weeks ago, 2 minute with 1 second increment against a 2420. So it looks like he was okay. It was part of the Chess 960 Battled Arena. So let's see. Well, how many were there? Probably quite a few. Yeah, let's just look at the most recent one. Let's see. He was playing as white. No, that's second game. There we go. Playing as white against an IM 2400. So that's pretty good. Let's see how he handles it. Let me just make sure we're good on the stream. Looks good. Okay. Videos. Where'd it go? Huh. Videos. Stream. Oh, that's weird. It's not showing up on there. But hopefully it's going. Okay. So let's take a look at some of his positions. So B3, E5. Standard, take the center. And I always, at the beginning, I'll always look and see where are those weaknesses. Where kind of try to see what is the equivalent to the F7. In this case, F7 is actually guarded by a queen and a knight and a king. That's not really a weakness. Everything else seems pretty well covered. Now G7. See, at the very beginning, you say, okay, when you play B3, that's why I think they played that. So they target G7, and then Magnus goes E5, which is guarded by the queen. And then he's obstructing a diagonal, so it's a very sensible move. He may have had the same thing in mind. Let me just watch out for that one key weakness and take the center. So now we have like a reverse Sicilian kind of thing. And he also targets G2. Of course, the knight could come out and cover. It's not a big deal, but it's it's sensible to put pressure on it. So they want the center possibly with D4. Developing, getting ready to castle if he wants. Okay, 3, standard. The knight's in the middle. Get those pieces out. So he's got 2 pieces in the game. Clearly, D4 is the intention of this IM. Opperwesen. And then he goes to interesting. I think I looked at another game. He did the same thing with E5 and C5. So kind of like a Botvinnik system. That seems to be something that he likes to do. And getting control of D4. So he says, well, you want to play D4? Work for it. I can just give it to you. Well, still wants D4. And then he says, all right, well, I'm going to get it first. I'm going to get that break in the center first before you do. And you see this kind of tension a lot in the Botvinnik system setups. You get that in. So it takes, knight takes, and white castles. Well, white wants to play D4, but are they going to be able to do it successfully? That's the question. I don't see it played anytime soon. Alright, so he castles, white takes, he takes. F4, interesting. That's kind of common in the English. A lot of times you'll play C4 and F4. Call it kind of like the saucer setup. E3, D3, F4, and C4. And pretty common. Someone got traded off, but you're kind of, it's like the indirect way of attacking the center, the typical hyper-modern style. So Magnus just takes it. Says, all right, well, you're going to have to take back eventually with the pawn, which is going to weaken d4. So queen comes out. Interesting. So he plays sacrificially. I'm not sure that's so good. Yeah, now it's saying -1, basically, like as if, you know, the equivalent of being a pawn up. I mean, okay, oh, you're attacking this? Yeah, but since the bishop is here. But I don't think it's going to do much. You just go f5. Okay, they take back. Interesting, the computer likes c4, which is stockfish. Over here, like c4. Magnus preferred queen g6. Well, that's a mate threat as well on g2. Sure, why not? And then interestingly, it says rook f2 is a dubious move. I mean, it seems simple, rook f2, unless you get in trouble on that diagonal, not a skewed diagonal, that diagonal there. Knight g3, that's sensible. g3 is sensible. Rook f2 looks fine. What's bad about it? He didn't play c4. It's still like c4. Well, see, the interesting thing about c4 is that it clears the path for the knight. And then you can imagine this coming, and you pretty much have to give it up. And you get that uncontested bishop. So knight c5 just to e4 is a nice idea, hitting f2. And you don't want to leave f2 because you're abandoning g2. It's all that pressure on the g2 pawn. So yeah, I think Magnus got the better of this opening. Okay, so he goes here, centralizing, and he maybe should have played e4, but this looks natural. Okay, bishop comes out. Let's see, where does he want to go? Maybe he just wants to play b5 and bishop b6 and then c4, and he's looking at that diagonal. He's got the knight, and the bishop will be covering d4. You push the pawns, so you can't really obstruct it so easily. And imagine once it's here, you can't go d4 without getting taken on passant. So you're going to get that diagonal open. So that kind of fits in with the strategy of working against, you know, getting his bishops activated. I was actually just reading the Game Changer book, really awesome book, Game Changer about AlphaZero. And there's a section under attacking the king. I think it's called Sacrifice for Time, Space, and Damage. And there's the first one under space. He talks about how it clears those diagonals for the bishops. It's really beautiful. So I highly recommend it. So rook doubles. Bishop. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he wants to go back, making the queen uncomfortable. Going to make a decision. Well, there's only one move, queen g3. And then he moves his queen. He says he could have taken it, but maybe he thought, okay, it's not that decisive. Although, look at the pawn structure. It's very important. I was just analyzing a Capablanca game last night with my students at a library, and looking at that game against Lasker in the Silman book on endgames, and just where the split pawns for Lasker just got him in trouble. And you see the split pawns here. The 2 pawn islands for black. We have 3. Well, this is considered 1, 2, 3. But that pawn, the d pawn is really a weakness. So in the endgame, black should have real good prospects. But he wants the middle game because he sees, well, what if we can achieve a rook on g6 or something? Let's say you move the knight, rook swings, that could be decisive. So I can see how his endgame, middle game is strong as well as the endgame. Bishop goes back, knight g3. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think getting a pin right here. Oh, it takes it. Oh, okay. Well, he stacks the exchange. I mean, I guess at that point, well, the only other thing he could do is g6, but it doesn't intuitively seem comfortable with that diagonal open. I mean, yeah, he could have challenged it. But I guess he's like, look, I'm just going to come here and win the exchange if you want to take it. And then it says it's like equal, but I mean, hey, an exchange is an exchange. But there's, as AlphaZero shows, you can get a lot of compensation for that exchange. You have the 3 pawns, you have the 2 bishops aiming in. I'd say white has good compensation. I mean, the computer says white's slightly better, despite the fact that he's down. They're down material, right? Down exchange for a pawn, technically. But it doesn't really matter too much. You can get compensation, but still, in exchange, when you have the exchange, you can at least try to make your opponent prove it and say, look, if you don't prove it, I'm going to have a very good chances to win the endgame. So it prefers bishop e5 here. Reasonable. Block the rook, and then you anchor in the knight. Okay, well, what do you do about that? Goes in the endgame. And then that's where the prospects are looking good. I guess you're going to have to go bishop e5, discard the knight. And then we have bishop d5. What's the idea of bishop d5? What's the idea? I'm not sure why the computer likes it. He likes it. Oh, I think it's just a prevention. Yeah, because bishop c4 is super strong. So he's just saying, okay, I recognize the power of bishop c4, anticipating opponent threats. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, f5. Knight d4. Bishop takes. Well, now you've gotten rid of the two bishops. That makes life a lot easier. I mean, sure, you can argue that this pawn is strong, but I don't think it's enough compensation. So basically, Stockfish is saying that there's no compensation, because technically, I think it was 2, 4, 5 against 2, yeah, 6 against 5, but black is up in exchange, so technically, black is up a point. AlphaZero Stockfish says black's up a point, meaning that it doesn't think that white has really compensation. And I agree, yeah. I mean, other than, there's some compensation with the pawn being, giving it space, but there's not too much you could do with it. Maybe you could try to push your pawns, and it's not dynamic, really. So, meaning black should have time, especially because the rook's attacking the knight, so black has time to activate. Oh, okay, well, putting pressure here. I guess if the knight takes, you can take on g2. What if the rook takes? You'll force the trade of rooks, okay. No, you'll still take on g2. Yeah, because rook takes and you hit the bishop. Yeah, bishop check, bishop goes back. You can still, if rook takes, you have bishop takes g2, don't you? No? Oh, it was thinking so bishop takes b. Oh, that makes more sense. Bishop takes b3 because you're staying on the diagonal. But does bishop takes b? I'm curious. Does this work, or am I just missing it? Active. It says it's better for white though. White kind of escapes here. What if you just go back though? Why is that so terrible? Oh, because the rook takes, of course. And then it gets you in a pin. That's the reason. And then white's good because white has two pieces of a rook, which is winning here. Yeah. Okay, I missed the rook takes hitting it. But maybe he could have thrown this in because you stay on the diagonal. And then if a takes, okay, you just win a clean pawn. And if rook takes here, you just take back. And if you want to take it, yeah, it's just simple winning of a pawn. And now there's nothing in the endgame for white here. Black is just winning the endgame, pass pawn. The rook will show its superiority. And generally, you'll use the rook to restrict the knight and to win more pawns, or to usher in your own. So yeah, that's a winning it. Okay, so that explains it. But yeah, bishop takes b3, not bishop takes g2. Again, when you leave that diagonal, you should be very cautious. As we saw, there was a tactical refutation. Oh, okay, yeah, because he realized, well, when he moves it away, he doesn't need fancy stuff, because rather than chopping b3, he's like, look, I can just go back, you move your rook, you move your bishop, rather, I take on d2. So he's getting the pawn back anyway. First he chooses to kick the knight. He never takes a pawn, actually. Well, I guess he would be trading a lot, so if you're winning, you don't want to trade too many pawns, because it gets closer to possible draws. Like, for example, rook against bishop should be a draw. So if you take, you could take and take, though. Yeah, the computer likes that, but I guess, it's a blitz game. He wants to just do the simplest thing without running into complications. But again, you could just take here. But b5 is reasonable. But the question is, can white guard the pawn? Yeah, but then black hits in on the c file. Yeah, up the power of the exchange. Even being down a pawn, theoretically. But he's going to get the pawn back. You can't hold those pawns on the king side, the queen side, rather. Okay, take. He's trading pawns, which is a little uncomfortable, but what's going to happen is he's going to, maybe if he takes, he can go back to d5 and hit that diagonal with the rook on d2 hitting g2 as well. That should be strong. Okay, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, do you really want to give him that pass pawn? But you have a runner here, and you can easily go back. I mean, it's a little risky. I guess part of it is that you have bishop here to hold b7, and that's going to come fast. Yeah, it's coming fast on the a file. So a5. Yeah, bishop e5. I mean, what if? Yeah, I think the simple move is just. I was thinking taking back, take, and then bishop. Oh, but if you go, I guess he has bishop d3. It's murky. As long as you're confident that it works, it's just you have to be very careful there. But that a pawn is strong, and your material advantage should show here. The dubious move should have just gone b6. Keep pushing. Okay, then that's another thing. You can just get behind the pawn, and that's where you want to be, behind the passed pawn. And then it says blunder. You just can't stop it. So it's over, huh? You should have gone king f2 trying to help, but it's difficult now. It's pretty much losing, it looks like. And you've got that bishop guarding this diagonal. You got the rook covering here, so there's no way this bishop can save it. And the knight's kind of snuffed out of play as well. And then he resigned. Okay, let's look at one more, and then let's play. Okay. So he beat, let's see, 2,500 a GM, 2,400. Oh, let's see how he beat. Let's see one where he played with. I think he was playing white. No, he's playing black that game. So let's see how he played with white. Okay. Against Nat King 96. I don't know if they say their name. We have to go on their profile. So let's see, D4. Okay. So white D4 is kind of, you want to take the center, but so in both games he stuck a pawn right in the center. And maybe you could, a lot of times you can kind of transpose to a normal sort of setup. Sometimes you end up with like a D4 opening, with like a Queen's Gambit sort of thing that might happen after D5, C4. In this case, it looks more like a Kali system almost with D4 and C3. And then he gets E4 quickly, or like a modern Burke defense. So any weaknesses? It's the same. No, it's not the same, I don't think. So this time G2 is covered. There's nothing that can be easily attacked, really. So here it's just the bishops are next to each other. So you just get those pawns in the middle, and your bishops will open up, and then use them to support the center, I think. Let's see what he does. So sure, he could have taken E4 right away, which the computer likes, but C3 is probably fine as well. I wonder if you can strike back. No, if you go E5, you just take, and you have the tempo with knight F3. The computer likes F5. I like that too. You kind of complicate the E4 push. Sort of a Dutch setup. Okay. So now you may end up in sort of a Caro-Kann structure. E6, interesting. I mean, yeah, you could have taken it. I would just take and then get the tempo with the knight, yeah. It's like a Caro-Kann sort of, but with an extra tempo maybe. But G6 is slow. He pushes. So the computer's saying you could take and go G3 to just to get that tempo play, put some pressure. But I think there's something concrete. I think he wanted something a little more concrete with E5. Getting space. And then you can imagine F4 push to F5, supported by knight E3 and so forth. So you can really get some activity. I think, yeah, black will need to strike back with F6, and they do right away. And then he goes F4 and just holds the center. Reasonable. And then black hits the light squares. Knight, trying to stop F5, of course. Bishop C7, you don't want that break too easily. And not to mention, F6 puts pressure on E5, so if you do go F5, you're weakening your hold on E5. So it's kind of that Nimzovich principle of overprotection. You want to overprotect E5 here. Okay, knight E3, knight E6. It's okay, you attack my pawn, I defend my pawn. And I open up my queen on the diagonal. Interesting. This definitely reminds me of like a position from the French, like from where you might get that from the Tarrasch variation of the French, where white often, I usually see those as examples where white loses, where black wins in the French. Well, you haven't played C5 yet, but you can play C5 anytime you want. Well, you have to guard D5 actually. It's interesting though. Sometimes in the Caro-Kann, you could just leave the pawn here when they push, and usually you get that bishop activate on F5 or maybe G4. Even play H5 to hold that the light squares, but you got to go F6. And you can actually get kingside activity, and you can even castle queenside because your queenside's still kind of intact. Of course, white will try and throw stuff at it. So I'm thinking he might castle queenside, but he doesn't. I think. Interesting. It says you'll see. Okay, he pushes on the queenside though. Interesting. The computer likes this. I kind of like that too. In knight G7, you can cover the light squares a lot like that. So, but he's getting space. But now he's kind of like, he's not able to castle as easily on the queen side. Although there was, speaking of AlphaZero did play A5 and castle queen side and let the opponent just go ahead and win the pawn with the bishop. Queen was on E1, and then it just kept attacking on the king side. It just left its king on the queen side. Who cares about the A pawn? It's all about that tempo play. So although I'm going to try and play solid today, I'm going to keep that in mind, the tempo play of AlphaZero. So yeah, he just gained space, and he says, well, that maybe his king. Nah, I don't know. I don't think you want to castle queen. You want to probably keep the defense here. I think you'll probably stay in the middle. I mean, you can even castle king side, but you might just stay in the middle as long as the e file doesn't open. Of course, white can always take. So white castles king side, and then now the computer actually wants him to castle queen side. And of course, if a3, which AlphaZero, again, there's actually a chapter on AlphaZero. I'm obsessed with AlphaZero, but hey, it's the best thing in the world right now other than Magnus Carlsen. But I mean, maybe the best thing that's ever played chess. Best computer versus best human. So, and then yeah, you would just bypass. But it always likes to get that the A pawn or the H pawn deep in the enemy territory, and it'll. There's another chapter on exploiting complexes of weak squares. I'm going to keep those things in mind as well as Magnus's. So hey, if we can play like AlphaZero combined with Magnus Carlsen, I don't think we can complain. That would be nice. That would be a nice fantasy. But at least, hey, you know, I'm not going to, but at least we can be inspired by them. You know, you can still use their ideas when you can. You can all aim for that. Doesn't matter, you know, 1200, 2200, whatever. You can use ideas of games. Don't study it, you know, at your own risk. It's out there for you to study, at your own detriment, if you don't study it. Okay, so bishop b6, bishop c. He's just solidifying everything, right? It's d4, he plays bishop c3. Nice solidity. Okay, you have, you know, d5 is a weak square, but how do you exploit it? You don't. And d5 may in the future be in the cards, you know. You defend the knight. Let's say I don't know, you'd have to go like rook here and rook here. You're going to want to move, you know, you're going to want to move things out of the way, maybe prepare. And then you could potentially consider a d5 break in the center, or maybe even break open the b file. Like, this is kind of interesting. What if you play like a3, and then I don't know, somehow if you got b3 in, and then you shifted it here, I think you're probably going to see play on the c file and the d file if I were to guess. Let's see what he does. So he declines the trade. If you have more space, you want to not trade pieces. Really. He's just going to squeeze him, I think. But yeah, you see that they're trying to take advantage of the white squares now. Possibly even trade that bad bishop off with a good bishop. Interesting. Yeah, I think he wants to swing it, get his queen into play. Yeah, you could play h3 too, anytime you want, really. Yeah, bishop e6, so the GM trades it off. But now the knight doesn't access this as quickly. And you got this overprotected. Your dark squares are really overprotected. But can he ever play d5? He's got to break somewhere. You always need a break in a closed position. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve anything. You got to do a break, either with a pawn break or a piece sacrifice. Grandmaster Izoria from Georgia, the country Georgia. I played him a couple times. Yeah, the second time I played him, I actually had a really good game against him. I totally locked things up. You know, and of course he outmaneuvered me. I was doing okay though, but then eventually he found a piece sack and it started pushing. You know, got a piece sack and his pieces just rolled me on avalanche. And I tried to run with my king to the other side and to survive, but right before my king made it, he was able to, you know, break through with it nicely on the diagonals. He's a great tactician. Izoria, very strong player. H3. This was in the Marshall Chess Club. I really like playing. I haven't had the chance to play the last 2 years, but I think I played 3 years in a row in the Marshall Chess Club Championship for like 2014, 15, and 16. Look after you want. One time I have a blog about where I started with 3 losses, then I came back and got 5 out of 9. I think I got 5.5 another year. But I ended up doing okay in it. Had some good games, but such a terrible start. Every time a terrible start. Okay, castles. The key is you want to train before the tournament. Do some training games so you're already in the get the tempo down. Rook fd8, 93. Where's he going? Yeah, so actually the computer's saying he could have played d5. Let's see, what's the justification? Maybe knight b4 is coming? Well, how are you going to break the blockade? Do you have knight g5? So let's see how that looks. That's interesting. So if he did after, instead of 93, if he had played d5. Let's see. So let's say rook takes. I assume we just trade rooks first. And then, yeah, knight g5 is the way we're going to... We got to bust open that diagonal to get... Because we already have control here. So they can't really block. We want to... Oh, and that's nice because when he takes, if he takes, we hit the knight when we take back. Oh, you take with check. That's the idea. Now, oh, and then if knight, so you trap the queen. That's beautiful. That, and then you go. I thought you could just go d5. That probably wins, no? Yeah, that wins also. And the queen's trapped by the bishop. And yeah, that's nice. But you could even take on b7, and then I guess then you could play e6. It's just a bonus, just a superior move order. So knight g5. So black should go ignore it with knight that or move away from the 7. Rook c1. That's a deep move, just putting pressure on the file. So it's kind of like this AlphaZero thing where you just stack and just to get open lines and activity. Because again, you need that break. You need that break. So knight e3, queen g7, and then he does d5. Well, he was going to get it in, and the computer says it still works. I mean, he could have gone queen e2 or whatever, but I mean, maybe he realized, oh, I could have done it. Then he doesn't. A move later. Okay. So Desperado, it looks like. Yeah, Desperado takes back, and then he gets I'm going to lose my knight anyway, so I gain something for it as a Desperado. Takes back, and then he goes. Well, e6 is sensible. I mean, look at the diagonal. It's a monster on the diagonal. What should he have done? I mean, again, you can't really argue with Magnus. Well, it's a quick game though, so he's not going to make the most accurate moves. King g3. Now that's counterintuitive. Oh, I see, because you just don't want to lose this. Well, I think in the spirit of opening lines, maybe he doesn't care too much after e6. But that's interesting. King g3, and you just can't really bother the king. But he goes e6, allowing bishop takes check. So what's he? 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's down temporarily. It looks like. Wait, is he down 3 pawns? I mean 2 pawns. Yeah, he's down 2 pawns. Queen f2 or queen g1. Okay, he gets on the diagonal. So it's still down 2 pawns, but the computer favors white. Look at the activity. You got a pawn deep in enemy territory. Knight is awful. Bishop is an awesome, amazing bishop. You can, yeah, that's decisive. That threat is really strong. And you got that mate idea. And when you have that diagonal combined with f7 under control, you have a lot of mate threat. And I don't see any good way to block the diagonal, so it looks deadly to me. Yeah, just queen d4. Oh, he has queen f6. Okay, but then he has a discovery. So he doesn't want to trade down yet. He has a discovery, hitting the queen. And then you can crumble this structure over here. So he did take it. He could have gone, wait, what? Oh, it says the computer wants him to go to c5. Well, what's the idea there? Wants him to repeat the position and get c5. What's the difference? What's so good about queen c5? Let's see. Okay, so queen goes to f8. Oh, and then you just win c6, or you open on c6, and you hit the bishop. So it's a little stronger than hitting b7 because you break through with the attack. And you could, ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's pretty decisive. And you break through on d7 and takes. You get a pawn on d7. Queen b4 isn't bad either, though. I mean, that's plus 2.5. Yeah, that's not bad. Bishop d6. And then he blundered. So he should have, d takes c6 would have been really good. But what's wrong with, is he trapping his queen or something? Like allowing knight g4. Wow. And how about the queen? Where can it escape to? It's kind of, well, it can move on the diagonal and go back. But why isn't, that's hard to see, knight g4. I mean, obviously if you take, you're opening up the file, you're threatening knight f2. But why is knight g4 so powerful? Knight g4, queen c4, and then black is winning. Oh, wow. Queen h6, then h3 is under pressure. I don't know, h4. Okay, that seems normal. You can guard it. You can guard it with a knight. And then then you just get the exchange and breaking through. Wow. So after knight g4, and if you take it, I think pawn takes back. Oh no, you have queen check. And pawn takes back. Yeah, you do both. So king goes up, and then you take here, and then you're threatening here after the knight moves. So the rook would hit it naturally. But then you take the knight with check. Or you could even do this powerful move, queen f4. That's nasty. And you're in. Knight moves. Okay, that's a computer move. Throws itself away. Checks. King f1. Yeah, it's an onslaught. That's an onslaught. Oh, he can guard. He can guard on f7. What a defensive resource. That's why knight g5. Wow, but it still says it's winning though. Queen f3 check. I mean, the king is isolated, right? And if you go to, what if you go to g1? What do we have here? Is it g3 or something? Queen g3 check, and then it wants rook ac8, and the rook. We're gonna get into c4. No. Yeah, this is a night. Well, I mean, the king is stranded. Then you break through here. Yeah, I mean, you have all these mating patterns with the queen and bishop swooping in. And then I feel like that the bishop check is coming, right? Yep, the bishop check will come. Oh, you take with check. Yeah, that's over. So he should have played the GM, whoever that is, Knight King. Should have played Knight G4, brilliant move, wow. But instead it went here, he went there. Too much computer analysis reason. Talking about AlphaZero as the it. Bishop C5, Queen B5. Knight G4 still strong. And then so it looks like Magnus is kind of slipping out. Maybe he had a time advantage and he was able to, like, survive this. And he's a great defender. So he's back 2, 4, 5, 2. So everything's equal now. And Magnus just has a pretty good position. He's back in the game. Yeah, his king's a little compromised, but so is Black's king for practical purposes. Unfortunately, yeah. So amazing how much of a difference that would have made. I guess Queen C5 versus B6 because Black got all this counterplay. I think he slipped it up somewhere there, but then he consolidated. I'm not sure why it says Black is so much better though here. I mean, Black's got open lines. I think it's that the White king is really exposed, yeah, because you got that G3 square, E3 square as well. If you're under pressure, you should trade, and then a big mistake of taking a rook. Another desperate. Well, this is a super tactical game. Lots of lines open, lots of things under attack. In between moves is wish and zoogs. Queen takes C7. I wonder if Google's what do you call it? The auto captioning would pick up that word is wish and zoog. Maybe if it's studied enough chess. Okay, rook to D8, Queen E5. Looked at enough chess YouTubers talking about his wish and zoogs and their en passants and other random words in chess. The Queen D6. So then it really blundered. Oh wow, so E7 is just a killer, huh? And then he should have gone E7. But that's nice. I mean, you got two connected passed pawns, yeah. So Magnus was able to turn his advantage. That's why you can't let him take on E7 because those pawns are massive. Who cares about the exchange? Again, the exchange doesn't matter here. But he still ended up winning it. But E7 would have been a killer. Let's see, so E7. Now, well, if you take with check. You pick up that rook and you have a piece. So has to go what? Rook D7? Losing something. Wait, what if Queen D? Oh, it's hanging. Yeah. So yeah. It's just breaking the connection. And if you take, we take with check, and then we pick up the queen and we're up a knight. A knight G5. Well, now he's like slightly better, and but there's another example of huge compensation for the exchange. And then okay, so we had to give up the exchange. Now he's up a pawn, and he's up like a point. Okay, interesting. Wow, lots of back and forth in this game. Crazy game. You got the pawn back, but those two centralized passed pawns are massive. I think those are gonna. Yeah, it says White's winning. Get the pawn back. More active king. Pawn comes down, blunder, let the pawn down, that's over. King gets in and will assist the pawn and he will win the rook. Nice. All right, let's play some chess. I'm ready. Let's play some chess 960. Let me see, let me just make sure that we got the live streaming. Just make sure it's good, that it's actually working. Hopefully this is live. Elapsed time 0 minutes. Hopefully it'll. Oh, maybe I have to click on stream now to make it. Unless it's just buffering or something. Oh, hopefully it got something. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Costa. Hey, Costas. Oh, yeah. Okay, now it had to catch up a little bit. So the battery is empty again. Oh no, I think you saw it at the beginning. How are you doing, Kostas? We've had maybe Kostas, we can play some games now. After getting inspired by Magnus and some talk of AlphaZero. Kostas of Greece. I analyzed one of your games too, right? Good idea, analyze. Yeah, you got to look at Magnus, look at the best, right? Study the best. I don't care. I'm agnostic as far as whether it's a human or a computer. I've come to accept the Silicon Beast. I just want to learn from it. So analyzing it, Magnus didn't capture on D5 because he was out of theory. Out of theory for sure. Yeah, no theory in this. AlphaZero and Lila0. Saludos. Oh, Moises. Okay. Hola, Moises. ¿Cómo está? Moises de Venezuela. Lo que vamos a hacer es, vamos a ayudar la Federación Venezolana, entonces, por una cámara, y entonces pueden hacer, ¿cómo se dice? Audio, video, you know, recordings, para las clases venezolanas, like the federation's classes. So basically, you know, given the tough time that Venezuela is going through right now, so I want to donate a camera, and we'll have to figure out just how to make the transaction, and you know, we'll do it in U.S. dollars, and make it worry about inflation or anything for now, anyway. And then we can do some crowdfunding, so we can get started on that. Do some crowdfunding and raise money for other programs in Venezuela. So Moises va a apoyar con eso, y ojalá que todo está bien en Venezuela. Ahora dura tiempo, este ciclo políticamente y todo, y ojalá que está mejor. So, gracias. Estoy trabajando. No, lo que trato de hacer es practicar cuando puedo con cualquiera, organizando en el pasado, o en Latinoamérica, viviendo en Argentina. Estoy de Los Ángeles. I'm from LA, so I started, you know, learning in LA how to speak Spanish and some classes, traveling and stuff. So let's do it. Let's do some chess now. I'm glad it actually worked. Because at first I was like, oh no, it didn't go through. And Moises, do you speak English as well? I think we were chatting in Spanish, but you speak some English too? Let's see. I guess so. If you understood the stream I was just doing. So let's see. Let's do play. Create a game. So 4 and 3. Let's do 5 and 5 because I think then we'll have a little bit more time to talk. I'll put the challenge out there. Whoever wants it. Okay, I got someone. We got Luzkin, and then I'll play against you guys next. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Good luck. Let me know if the volume is good too, because sometimes I think they have a new version of OBS, and I didn't get it yet. Kind of awkward at the beginning. Hopefully it's working. Audio not too loud. Let me know if it's working well. Balance. All in balance, right? Todo es balanza. Balance of everything. All right, so I want to get my bishop out. But I don't like symmetry. I never like symmetry. I want to play c5. Let's go d6. And we're guarding that, so you don't have to worry about that one. I'm going to go like d6 and e5 maybe, and then f5, something like that. Or I can possibly even go e5 and get the bishop out that way. Maybe c5, I don't know, c6 possibly. That's kind of interesting, c6, and we can trade off the bishop. But I don't like it. Well, now we can definitely play c5 if we want to, and then if they go bishop c3, we can shove the b pawn at them. Now there's pressure here, as we talked about earlier, but I don't think that's a problem for the time being. Oh, it is, because they have queen g3, which is why I wanted to play e5, and that's why I'm going to do it immediately. No, wait. Okay, hold on. I go e5. Now the focus for today is solidity. I'm going to try and play solidly whenever I can, but I think you tend to go better that way. Now, of course, I'll seek activity. It's really a balance. Again, it's balance of solidity and activity. But here we gain a tempo, so it makes complete sense. And then I can, well, again, like they can check, but I can either just block it. I'll probably block it with the knight. I can also, actually, it's nice with the bishop, because then if they take it, I actually develop the knight. Okay, so they're keeping the pressure there. And now we have an imbalance because the f pawn's gone and my d pawn's gone. Yeah, how can we handle this? I want to harass the bishop. Really, I want to bother that bishop as much as possible. We can also transfer pressure here. Now see, I've mitigated the pressure here because I can easily go f6. I've killed the pressure on this diagonal. But what I want to do is I want to then win some pressure on that diagonal. Yeah, I view it as a victory. View little things like that. There's like the small win philosophy. You view it as a small win, that you accumulate small wins, right? Small wins that accumulate over time. Just like Magnus playing slightly more accurately than his opponents. And that does build up. Again, in favor of solidity, in the interest of solidity, I'm just going to make a pawn chain. But it also is useful because I have the two diagonals to use. I can go here. I can go easy, really easy development from here. See, and they still, oops, Not that way. I can't jump with the rook. But I can get very nice setup here. And we have an imbalance, so I'm happy. I'm always happy that I have having an imbalance out of the opening. I have something concrete to work with. Shh. Dog. Open up the... their king is a little more exposed, which should benefit us here. Now but see, I don't want to go bishop d5. That would be silly because then I'd run into this. Now they're actually, no, they're not threatening this, but they do have the pressure. So I almost want to go bishop f7, again, solidity, and just castle. Let's just, look, I'm just going to, I'm just going to try to be as solid as possible. And let's see what happens. You often win games. I actually played someone last night. He's pretty strong. He doesn't do tournaments, but he was at the chess club I was teaching at. I played him. He gave me a hard time. I played a Caracan against him. But I just played solid, and then eventually I was able to, you know, exploit his weaknesses. That opposite colored bishops, I had the dark squares with my bishop, and broke through. So they have to figure out how they're going to develop. I assume they'll play e4. They'll probably play e4. They did. I may actually want c5 at some point, especially if they can't access this with a knight. But if they do d4, I just take it and I give them a nice line. Although I don't really like it. I don't really like it. They have b4 then. Nah. Oh, I play c5. They go b4. I go b4. It's a little sketchy. Let's castle first. Again, in solidity. So I'm looking for anything. So if you play d4, I'll benefit. It'll benefit me because I'll have the e pawn to attack. So let's begin to put a little bit of pressure on the e pawn. Their diagonal's open as well to their king. Yeah, let's do this. So just a little pressure here as well. Maybe you can stick a knight there or something at some point. Not there, there. Okay. Yeah, the 5 and 5 is much better. One more time. Talk and think. Well, what if c5? Because now I can hit him with hit the d3 pawn. I'm definitely liking that. I'm liking that. And it also opens up the bishop, so I can potentially well, you know what I like? I like b5, and then potentially b4 or c4, and we have that room for the bishop to come behind, and there we go. Trying to occupy that diagonal. So I feel like we can establish sort of a bind in this position, which I'm liking here. And then we're going to go bishop b6, I think, and then this one can go here, and everybody's happy. So we should have a pretty good arrangement for the pieces here. If they're watching, they know exactly what I want to do. So that's okay. Luzjin from China. So like around the 1800s, 1817, 1800. Okay, like an A class, B class. Well, that's the problem. They hit this, but I can actually strike with that anytime I want. I can hit the bishop as well, so I have both options open. I don't think I want it immediately. Would it benefit me? Yeah, it would actually. It would, because I would isolate this one. That's something concrete. I could stick my bishop there, but no, I don't like that yet. I don't like it yet, because I also have bishop a5 and trade it off. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, wait. I was thinking of something. I'm not sure I like it. I was looking at bishop knight c5, bishop b6, but then they have b4. No. That's not good for them. It can't be good for them. Because then I have knight b. I can attack that knight really hard with knight b7. I don't think they want to walk into that. That's not healthy. That is not healthy. Okay, they retreated then. Now we can take on here, and if they take with the knight, I win this one. If they take with the pawn, then I have and potentially attack that one. Okay, let's see. There's a lot going on here. This is getting really interesting. Bishop b6 check possibly here. Oh no, I don't have b4. Never mind. I can't do b4 because the bishop would take. Yeah, I had to commit to it. I kind of committed in that sense. Okay, if I just take it, take. Pawn takes, check. Yeah, I think that's simple and strong. Or check first. I think it's fine either way. Let's just do this because I don't want I want to be able to force the pawn to take, which actually keeps the knight there. Now let's insert the check. It's about time. And I feel like we're getting a little something here. I feel like I have an advantage now that I have to increase. Now let's start the maneuvers here with the knight. But keep in mind there's also pressure here, which ties down the knights, which I like. Yeah, and then that's what we want. Knights coming here, and then we'll eye the d4 square. Okay, what's going on with that? Are we worried about that? Nah, shouldn't be too worried. Let's see here. Do they have anything? Yeah, potentially. F6. So I probably want to move my king again in favoring solidity. Just move the king over. Let's just stop their plans. And then I like the look of knight e6. Oh, you know what we have? A5, b4, because now the queen is not hitting this one. Okay, they go b3 to let their knight free. I want this now because I don't want them. I want to keep pressure here. Well, they won't be able to play this anyway because we have pressure here. But we seem to have a pretty good grip here on the position. And then I think if we can, a nice idea is to do this. Seems like it's I like it because it's coordinated, and then this comes to b5, and this one could go here. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to get distracted with knight g5. I don't think it does anything. How about rook d8 first? No. Again, I'm not. If they go bishop f5, I'll just take it. If they want to do the mate threat. And then I think I'll just play b4. Yeah, I'll just go b4 in here, and obviously that's protected. So we got to make sure everything is accounted for. But I think here and here, and then we're also looking into c3, d4, a3. Yeah, the knight on b5 is going to be pretty dominating. Okay, they just automatically went back. Sure, why not? And then at some point I would like to go here and come here. Oh, I should have done that. And keep in mind, this knight is restricted. Okay, it's trying to activate that. He is trying to, or she, whoever it is. Okay, let's get a little more pressure here. So we're covering that square a little bit. And now I have to be a little careful here. Because the time. Let me. I'm going to try and do those finger moves because I have like one of those screens you can it's like one of those kind of like an iPad, but it's here with touch screen. So let's see here. But it's a pretty old computer, but it gets the job done. Okay, let's move quicker. Let's just trade that off because it's becoming a pesky piece. Get rid of it. Back. Okay, let's gain some time on the clock if we can. I'm actually okay going into an endgame here because I'll kill their kingside pressure. I'm pretty confident that I would have something for the endgame. Okay, we don't need that in our territory-threatening mate. Let's just get rid of it. And yeah, I think the key now is just to take the file. Let's do this because I want the endgame, right? I mean, I don't even need it, honestly, but I think it's okay. Why let them do what they want on the king side, you know? Let's just stop that. And risk, again, I'm playing solid, right? Sticking with the theme of solidity, and I would have a risk-free advantage over there. Okay, now we got the infiltration here, I think. Because I don't think bishop h6, nah, that doesn't do it. We'll just come back easily. Is that, yeah, the pawns, I think we win the pawn chain there. I could take a2, but now I'll just take d3 and e4, and then I can actually come back. Oh, okay. Well, now I could take a2. Yeah, I can take a2 because we have coverage. But we made the queen go back, which achieved our objective anyhow, right? Oh, I also have bishop c3. Although I'm favoring rook c8 to c2 at the moment. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna just hit it right away. We're gonna hit that immediately, threatening it, forcing the rook back. We might pick up b3 here. Okay, now let's get here. Get on the file, keeping it pinned. The king is exposed here, which can't help them. If they go queen e3, I go bishop d4 with tempo. Then I go rook c2. This is an interesting game. It's like queenside play versus kingside play. But I don't think the kingside play achieved much. I think we're breaking on the queen side here. And the bishop helpfully stops rook a1. Very helpful there. Oh, I can take on d2 because the rook is hanging. Yeah, we're just gonna liquidate. Let's just liquidate and be up a pawn with a better position. It's not only a pawn though; it's the fact that the structure is much worse. And okay, hold on. Yeah, this is where I take. That's where I take because the rook takes doesn't work. The queen has to take, and we just trade down into what should be a winning position. Okay, this is still not simple though. Put some pressure there, stopping that one. Okay, but now I was anticipating that, so I could come back. Yeah, you can set up a back rank mate, but I'll just bring my king in the game. If you go like takes double rooks, I'll just chop it off. And then king g8 and d3 would fall. But now that's even better because now we can go here and threaten both pawns. Yeah, that's going to yield a pawn, I think. Okay, we take. Yeah, they're going to see they're trying to do the mate threat. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a winning endgame. And of course, no need for a pawn move because we want to centralize the king anyway. And because they move the pawns in front of the king, we're able to establish this line. And we have 22 seconds on it. So we cut off. Yeah, it's a winning position. I think it's 100% winning because this is falling. And these are all weak, and the king will be improved quickly. They should have attacked the pawn, but now this is completely over. And we keep their king cut off. That's very important. Don't let their king infiltrate. And then I'm just going to play like this, push the pawn. So in this case, this is a standard win where you're just going to use the rook and 2 pawns. And so one pawn will push, and then the second pawn will support it. If they attack it, you'll just go like this. And then you bring your rook up, and you go like that, and so forth. And their king is too far away to do anything. Worst comes to worst, we'll just leave it there and just kind of pick off the pawns on this side of the board. So that's what we're going to do. But I'll just do the same method. That's the same method. Oop, plug it in soon. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no need for any tricks. D6. And then we have, so the king doesn't come in. And I was looking at that because now we have, oh wait. Now let's just take it. And then we can check him. And then if they go to f6, we're going to check him again. Check him again. No mate, no thank you. And then we could even steal the h2 pawn if we want. Give this a plug it in. Oh, that's not the right side. Maybe we'll switch it. What did I do? Here. Oh, that's it. That's game. I think so, yeah. If they go g5, we're just going to go a3. Yeah, we're going to go a3. So you got to anticipate everything. Because now they check. This is not hanging. We check, and we come back. And again, that rook is very important to cost the kings. There's no consequence here. There's 0 consequences because there's no mate. There's no mate. There's no mate. Just go here. It looks a little awkward, but what can they do? You can check once. I go rook f8 because now I have a queen. You can't take on b2 now without letting me get a queen. Yeah, I'm just going to swap the plugs. Let's see. Yeah, that should be it. So it shows you, yeah, king activity is important, but you can also, if you have enough open lines, I probably should have brought my king out, but they did rook b2, but the thing is, by doing rook b2, they made a concession because they didn't take my a pawn. Then all I had to do in that case was just push the pawns, and that's a win. I don't think I missed anything. King's cut off. Rook's hanging. The queen. Interesting game though. A lot of play on it with weak pawns. So you had the king side versus queen side play. Good warm-up game. So the solidity worked in that case. Solidity worked. It usually does. But at the same time, when I had options to penetrate, infiltrate with the rook or the queen, I did it and broke on the queen side. Okay, are they going to just let it run out of time? No, there's nothing here. No stalemates. Maybe they wait until 0.1 second. Okay, let's do it. Let me just swap this real quick. Just reactivate. Let's reactivate video. Do deactivate, activate, and I think it's back on. Hopefully, I had some trouble with it. Okay, yeah, now. Cool. Okay, so we got Emporos. You got a game out of me the other day, right, Kostas? Okay, you got me. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? All right, good luck. Okay. So what's going on here? Centralized king. That's the weak spot, meaning corresponding for both sides. Well, if we want to put pressure on it, we would need to do so with the knight. The knight went to here, we would be able to attack it with the d pawn. Let's begin with d4. I don't really care about the opposition to the queen stuff. It doesn't matter because I'm going to play for central pawns here. Again, you might say, "Oh, you didn't open the bishop. You didn't." I had an idea actually. It was because we'll see what happens with that. But it's about being able to play d5 at the right moment. So he does this. Okay, so now we're in like standard sort of d4 territory. So I want sometimes what I like to do is to play here to attack it and then get the gambit in, you know, like that. But I would be blocking the bishop. Now the bishop, you can actually do like a fianchetto thing. You can kind of do a little fianchetto with the queen in the corner. That's kind of interesting. So that's one way to go. C4 takes. Yeah, C4 is, I think, possible here. Not necessary, because also the rook on b8 helps him to play b5. I don't need that yet. Let's just go here. And then hitting that. And then I can play c4, g3, and so forth. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I could think about g4. There's no need for that. Possibility, though. Is there any benefit to g4? Possibly in the future, but again, validity. Playing solid, I'm gonna try and prove that just by playing solid, we can get good games and win consistently. Am I attacking the pawn? We'll see. Yeah, I was because even if I took it and he played e6, I could take with check, and I would actually win the bishop. So I get 2 pawns, at least get 2 pawns, even if the knight gets trapped. But now we're going to increase the pressure on d5, the diagonal pressure as well. So now we can play c4. Because obviously I don't think you want to lose your bishop. Take it. And that's again the benefit of the knight there. That it gives a little support. And now we're really threatening the pawn. We're just saying, okay, I'm going to take it and win a pawn. And we're also going to go b3, castle kingside, knight to e3, knight to d3 rather, and we can pressure on c5 and probably land on e5. So we've kind of arrived at a Catalan setup from the queen's gambit structure, or it could come from a ready opening, various openings. Pretty standard d4 structure with the weird. Mostly with the weird queen placement, which is interesting though, because if we're trying to put pressure on d5, it would behoove us to have the queen, you know, to do this. And you can always move that and come out with the queen if you want to. Okay. So I think, well, you have to be careful that they don't get to do the same thing to you. But the thing is, like, my default would be, hey. Sorry, my dog. Oh, I think pizza too. Okay. Shh. Hey. My default would be b3. Well, you know, hey, at least he's kind of a guard dog. He's a little guard dog. But he's cool. He's good for apartment living, you know. I used to have a German Shepherd. It was a cool dog. But for apartment living, little dog like that, just hang out. Active little guy too. He's 6 years old, but he seems like a little guy, little puppy. Takes. Yeah, because I want to take. I think the only question is if the queen takes, how does that go down? You need cash? You got it? You don't need cash? Or a tip or something? Good? Alright. I want to make sure you got a tip then. He's good? Let's see. B3. Yeah, I mean, obviously what I want. Okay, this is where I would actually my tendency would be to take, because I want to make the queen waste time. So I take. Queen takes. I would gain tempos, right? B3. Queen would check. There's no bishop c3. You good? I take. Queen takes. Well, I mean, I'm still holding the pawn because I'd still have 3 defenders. They'd have. Yeah, I can still hold that pawn. I think it's safe. It would waste a lot of time for them to take the queen. For Kostas, I think. Are you listening, Kostas? Did you hear the chat, the stream? Because then you know. But it's okay. I think takes. Knight here. Stopping the checks. Or I could just go castles. Right away, even. And see what he does. No. I think it's more decisive. I don't even want to give him time for c6. Okay, takes. Now, knight d3 is one way to stop it. But I think, yeah, I think just castling here is the way to go. Yeah, I think let's just get that king out of the way. That should be the default. Because now we have rook d1 as well to increase the pressure on the d file, and they still are 2. Well, they got the queen out, which is useful, but the queen is also, we're also going to gain a lot of moves. It's kind of like in a Scandinavian. Queen's active, but we got 3 pieces out. They have like 2 pieces out. No, it's basically the same development, but we're also castled, and we're going to gain another tempo anytime we want with b3. That's the queen has. No, you can't even attack the rook. Even if you did, I'd just bring out the knight. The rooks will be connected in the move. I'm pretty comfortable here. He's doing okay, though. I think he's okay, but he has to be careful because there's some weaknesses on the light squares here. Mostly c6 will be the weakness. But you can see that white definitely has pressure on the light squares. And it will be the dark squares. So like bishop, okay, yeah, that's why here, because bishop g7 allowed b3, and then you can't castle when I take on g7. So before allowing to take, yeah, I mean, I think what's going to happen here is b3. I guess b4 could be played. But again, solidity often wins, you know? Aha. Okay, I'm liking this. I see something here. So basically what I want to do, well, I'm not going to say it yet until he moves. And I'm not going to give away my idea. I think it's unstoppable. My idea is to get to f6. Yeah, that's going to be strong. Because you see, he can't take on e3 yet because I take his queen. Unless you want to give up 2 pieces for a queen. But the idea is knight g4 and then knight f6. And if you go bishop g7, I still take. You lose your castling rights, your rook's awkward on g7. And if I feel like it, I can stick the knight on f6. Oh, not to mention, no, you know what I could do is if you go bishop g7, I would just check anyway. And that's dominating because now it's all about the dark squares. Not to mention, so I would have my bishop on f6 with the dark square pressure in combination with the bishop on g2 and the light square pressure. And now we're talking. So the advantage will be pretty decisive there. Yeah, I mean, look at the development. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of 5. They have 1, 2, 3, sort of 4. No, plus the king, that's 6. And the rook is ready to get in the game. So we're way ahead in development here, which is the most important feature, which should be a winning. I think if you play accurately, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I would say it should be in many cases a winning advantage if you get that big of a lead in development. Now, before I do the knight g4 thing, I could actually toss in here. Then they could go queen a5 and hit a2, which I don't really care about here. But again, like I said, I think knight g4 is just going to be a powerhouse there, and we can reserve that move. Yeah. Because if they take on c1, I can take back. No, it also threatens. No, this is great. Yeah, this is should be win. Not to get ahead of myself again, but just to be honest, I think in the evaluation, I'm trying to see if my evaluation is right or not. I think it's a winning position because this is so strong, and this is hanging, and the king is centralized. There's just too much going on. I would give up a pawn or two for this position. And yeah, as you see, once we mobilize the knight with the gain of tempo, we got those rooks coming out. Everything is where we want it to be, and if we want to, we can play e4. I don't even want e4 actually. I forget about that because I just have the diagonals. Those diagonals are very strong. But it should be a win. Like if you look on Stockfish, it might say +2 or whatever. But we have to convert this now. The awkwardness of the rook and king should be decisive though. Actually, it's not so clear because I mean I can check. I'd have to sack this one. Not necessarily. I think knight d3 is going to come. Yeah. Toss that in. Because they can't stop this thing anyway. Now then I think about where I want to go next. Okay, can we trap the queen or something? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. When you're unsure, I wasn't sure about that continuation. I want my bishop in there. I really want my bishop in there. That's gonna be strong. I don't care about pawns or whatever in this position. It's not about the pawns. It's about the king. If I learned anything from studying AlphaZero, and this pawn isn't even really that big of a deal because you have rook a1. Yeah, forget about the pawns. We're going on a king hunt now. So I'm gonna use my touch move. The other kind of not touch move like a tournament, but okay, he didn't want to take it. Oh yeah, but now we have castle. But first we're going to take this one. Try to open up the king. Yeah, that's good. Good. Okay, and then we have this one. Do we do it right away? Yeah, why not? Well, they have king move. But then we can go 95 check as well. Yeah, I mean, I just have to ignore the pawns. It's not about the pawns on a2 or whatever. Yeah, let's get the check in. See where that goes. Oh, the king actually gets away for a little bit. Okay, what are we gonna do here? I like the look of h4, h5, huh? What do you think about that? Oh, we have this. Sure, why not? Just take an exchange. Because it wasn't so clear what the knight did anyway. Okay, let's take this one. Get the rook out of the way. Oh, that wins a whole... Yeah, because we take back with an attack on the... Okay, good. So we won the rook, huh? He can take on a2. And then what? Probably b4, hit the knight. Try to work the queen and... can I do anything with that annoying queen? What's going on here? Oh, we have this move now. Yeah, so we're just picking up some material here. He has queen b5 though. Takes. And toss. What I could do is toss in the check. No, he didn't want that. Yeah, I'll just take it. But I was going to toss in the check. Now the other knight's hanging. Yeah, I think we got too much material here. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Let him take it. Because we're going to get the queen centralized next. Okay, queen centralized looks strong. So we're just up a piece, but that's okay. Because those pieces are coming in. Got everywhere we want it. Nothing is hanging. He hits that. Let's counterattack it. Oh, actually, yeah, I made it more complicated. I think this looks strong with queen d7 coming. Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to defend that. Looks like, because he has no checks here. So I saw the knight blocks the checks. And then I think we have a knight discovery with a mate. Yeah. Just knight discovery anywhere. And that's a mate. Mate in one. Yeah, we could do a knight mate. Yep. Good game. That was interesting. That got intense. But see, I have to be careful because he's good on the clock, and sometimes he can, Kostas will catch me he keeps me honest. Hung my queen for a moment. Oops. Oh, did I miss that? I missed that. You want to do another one? Where'd you hang your queen? In which position? It was actually hanging? I think I didn't need knight t7. I should have just found a way to activate my queen, but I was like, where can I go? I can't get it in. I was, what I should have done. I was looking at this. Yeah, h4, h5 because the knight blocks laterally, so you can't really do anything about h4, and since the knight's here, it hits g6. Yeah, that was the plan. Hey, AlphaZero's idea. That's kind of you to say, but it was a good game. But then this was a tactic here. You just had it. Oh wow, that's amazing. I don't think there's because if you take with the rook, I take this. If you take this one, I take this. Yeah, I think knight takes b8 just wins the whole rook. Then I started hanging stuff myself, but I think I had enough pieces that it didn't. I could get away with some stuff there. Did you want to play another one, or did Moises want to play? Moises está allá. Si quiere jugar también. Or we're gonna play. Yeah. First, let's get some games in with Kostas. Importas. What does importas mean, by the way? Is it Greek? Or what does it mean? Okay, so again, that c7 pawn we have to keep an eye on. So yeah, what I was talking about though is I was thinking about a way to use the d pawns that I would push here to here, so that if the knight tried to guard it, I would be able to chase the knight 4 inches with knight b4. So I was trying to think about how I can attack the c2 pawn. Okay, so he made the more logical move of just getting the bishop out and taking the center. You can't go wrong with that. Now I can go b5 or b6. Okay, I think I'll go with a little more active because there's nothing really loose about it because it's on the queen side. It's not too loose because I can combine that with this and d6 or something. Maybe we can stick a knight behind it. It gives us a little bit of space, and we're just obviously trying to take a pawn. Okay. So immediately we have pressure along the whole diagonal, but of course he has the bishop to g2, so we have to anticipate. Now we talked about the idea of attacking this one, but here not so much. Because then I can go to e3. Let me see, is there any way we can exploit that? Not for the time being. We have f5, and then they just go bishop g2, and I don't think it yields much. Okay, I like knight here because we can keep an eye here. And if I do play f5, I was thinking f5 with the idea of potentially f4 even. Kind of interesting. Well, he stopped that, didn't he? Well, let's go here. So the interesting thing is that what we can consider is in some lines, oh, the bishop's covering. No, it would be after bishop here. And we can consider a knight to c4 in order to undermine. So rather than using a pawn to undermine the knight's protection, we would use that. Oh, okay, so he wants that. Well, he's attacking me there now. But the knight's guarding. But he has f4, f5. Watch out for that. Of course, I can chop it any time. Well, see, the thing is, though, that when I take it, now I come in, he's actually lost his defender. So I think I'm fine with it. Because he also had to waste time. Remember, think in terms, when you give up a bishop for the knight, don't just think, I'm losing the bishop pair. You think what you're gaining as well. Because it's early in the game. It's not so clear the bishop pair will benefit him. But also when he takes back, we have this attack on here. And there's the only way to defend it is actually bishop d3, which is okay, but it's waste, you know. I just feel like we gain a little bit of time there. We're hitting f3. Let's see. Well, I mean, you don't have to take it right away. But we can't do it right away unless we want to drop this. But see, a lot revolves around. Oh, okay. A lot revolves around this. Now, the interesting thing is that if I get c5 and I can play c4. Oh, okay. And then it wouldn't be able to take en passant. So my idea is c5 takes after, and especially if he plays f4, it would actually potentially provoke f4 without yielding him anything. The c5 takes. Yeah, I'm liking the look of that. It's a more patient approach. I think it's okay. I feel like he's going to try f4, but look, I have a plan for that. Okay, but I still get this in. So if I take here, he can't take the knight because I would take back. So he would take with the pawn. Then I would toss this in. Oh, and now he's lost the chance. Yeah, this should be nice. It should yield something. So he has to take back forced, and then I toss in this one. Actually, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he can play c3, and then I get his bishop, and yeah. But I can try to exploit that pawn later on. I don't know. But if I get his bishop, then it's just the opposite guy. I mean, I think he's okay here. No, well, c3 would lose his castling rights, but he can probably. It's kind of funny actually. If he tried king f1 here, then he'd be blocking his queen. He'd have to organize his pieces somehow. But he could probably get away with c3. It's just a little awkward for him. And I have mobility with my queenside pawn, so I'm pretty comfortable there. But as you can see, I had that c2 weakness in mind, and his two pieces that would be able to defend it are not available here to do so because of the knights. Oh wow, he did that. I wasn't expecting that. No, that was more of a concession, I'd say, because I think you want your king over here. I was going to say you could bring out you take it later on. The knight comes in, trade bishops. You bring your queen out, your king would have gone here, and I think you'd be fine there. But here, I'm not so sure. You want to watch out with that king safety cost us. King safety is a little sketchy, you know? A little sketchy here. Maybe g5, g4. Hitting that, allowing the queen to enter the game. What else do we have here? Well, he's going to play c3, though. Keep that in mind. He's going to get that in no matter what. I could consider actually here. So if he goes here, I can take it. Nothing concrete. I would love to be able to attack along the diagonal. Let's see where this goes. You see, I want to activate my queen now. He didn't let me. I was going to try and play this. I could just take it and double his pawns. Well, the problem with this, though, Kostas, is that when I take you, your bishop gets entombed for a while, if not permanently. I view that as a concession, because I don't know how you're going to get that guy in the game. See, you have the option of here and here. Do I want that? Of course not, which is why it's just a natural move to play b4. And now this guy is out. He's out. He's out for the count. So now we can play on the dark squares. Maybe we can play g5 and bishop g7. Again, solidity we can also play, but I don't like the bishop there. I'd rather have the bishop be here and blocked by its own pawn rather than hitting my pawn. I don't see it attacking it, but it's just annoying. But really, we're playing a piece up now, so we just want to get our pieces in the game. So I think the way that I want to play this is g5, g4, and then bishop g7 or h6, and just use the extra piece. No, bishop h6, and utilize that diagonal that he cannot defend. Okay, he puts pressure, but no matter what, I'll just take back. Well, now we can actually activate the queen on h7. Yeah, that's appealing. h7. I could do it any time, but yeah, sure, why not? Oh, but then actually help him get in rook c1 to open it. Double-edged sword. I think we can get that at any time we want. I want g4, and it doesn't really open the king. Okay, maybe I was playing a little bit less solid, so my king has to stay in the center. But again, I'm up a piece, so I don't think he's going to be able to get at my king. I don't see how. Okay, that was probably a good move by Kostas. Take the bishop needs. Yeah, I think just try to stick the pawns on the dark squares and make the bishop less active. So it could be. So we're basically trying to entomb both bishops. We're really just playing against the bishops here. Queen out. Hit the rook. Yeah, you see, since we're playing an extra piece up effectively, it's sensible to trade queens, right? Play a piece up in the endgame. Completely fine. Let's test that out. Let's see if we can just win the endgame like that. Another idea is to go here and then here. Hit that pawn. We want to try to win this pawn and get a passed pawn somehow. Imagine he has bishop to g2. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, now he hits this. Okay, fine. I'll just take it. But now I have time to activate this one. Needs to get in the game, right? Threatening, of course. Hmm. I'm threatening to take it, and also I would like to move my bishop out. But yeah, we're just playing a piece up here, effectively, and the other bishop needs to prove it. Although I may have arguably helped the bishop come in the game, but I also want to get my bishop in the game. So, no, part of it was about the d5. No, it may have been a little bit wrong, a little wrong-headed there. I probably could have just gone bishop g7 to e5. It wasn't necessary. But if in the spirit of trading pieces, I think it's fine. Oh, and also if we have bishop d6, we can cover c7. All right, well, obviously I only have one reasonable response unless I want to sack a piece, which I don't really need to do. And if I ever wanted to, I can take it. All right, let's try and gain a little time on the clock. Got to watch out on the time. Yeah, if he takes, I just go pawn takes. And then I'll trade rooks. We have f5. Yeah. I should have done that already. Oh, that's an interesting move. Good move. Good move. Yeah, it's a good move. He's trying to maybe remove the pawn. Okay. So I wanted this one. Gotta open lines and then get a pass. Basically, my winning plan is just to get a pass pawn and then activate everything on the king side or the c file. But keep in mind, I did not take on c3 because that would automatically activate his bishop. As long as I don't take it and I maintain a blockade on b4, which I think I can do, then I'm good. I'll take that because that gives me a lot of pawns over there. Yeah, and actually when he takes, if he takes on d7, now I have the open lines to use. It just connects everything for me. He has takes and then maybe rook c7, but no, what I'll do is if he takes, I'll just challenge the c file immediately. So c takes b4, I go rook bc8, and I don't allow bishop c6. There's absolutely no reason for that. Yeah, I thought he should do that. But now I will challenge here. So the key is, it's kind of like when you're playing against the isolated d pawn. You want to control the file next to it. So by controlling the file next to this and getting my rooks in it, it actually can indirectly assist. I could play rook f4, that would have been nice as well. But it can indirectly assist your efforts. But yeah, that bishop is just not getting out. I don't see him getting out. I think I'm up a piece here, essentially. Yeah, now he has to trade because I had rook f2 if he moved. And then we're just going to win on the king side. That's it. Okay, let's enter the game with a threat. And we're just going to pile up on d4. And then let's just do this. So yeah, that's the win. That's the win. You can't stop the pawns, I don't think. Yeah, that's it. You can't stop those pawns. They're going to get in. That was a good move. That's okay, though. Because if he checks, I go king e5. Yeah, g3, it's too late. Because that's the thing with the cluster of pawns that I created on the king side. It's just kind of too hard to stop, I think. Although he does have something here. Say he has something, which gives him some activity that I don't like. But again, I just think g3 is coming, and g3 will be decisive. If he checks, I go king e5. Okay, he has that. That's the move I didn't like. But this is coming through, and I'm threatening g2 now. And if he takes, I take, hitting the bishop. So yeah, by the time he takes it, and again, it'll take him forever to get his bishop from a1. It'll take him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves or something. Take the pawn, move both pawns out of the way. So it buys us a lot of time. But now I come in the middle, and then we're going to win the bishop. If we want. Or I can reroute. I may have some other ideas here, actually. Potentially, I could even sack something back just to hold the pawn on b4 and then win like an opposite color. Okay. No, let's just play simple. Let's just play simple. I don't think there's enough there. Okay. Let's just win the gain some time on the clock. But the thing is the e-pawn's hanging out too. Actually, we got to be careful here. Hit the pawn. So when he comes up, I have bishop e7, guarding that. I may have to lose the bishop, but it's winning. It'll be winning, yeah. Yep, that's it. Because, like, for example, if he pushes, if he pushes here, good game, man. Really good game. But it came down to the bishop was out of play. And again, it's the AlphaZero theme that it uses a lot. Trying to see, like I said, I'm not going to play like AlphaZero, but I can still borrow some of his ideas. So push, I go here, king here. No matter what, when they push, you're going to win this pawn, right? So it's push, I stop it, they go here, I grab that pawn, they queen, I take, they take. Well, now I'm up a knight. Oh no, actually the knight's going to take here. Yeah, I'm going to be up a knight, and or I could just ignore it and just shove the pawn down. Yeah, the bishop. So let's go back real quick to where that became an issue. You see, you abandoned. See, the problem was though you didn't notice the threat. You got to notice that's your weak spot. That's like, well, it's like c2 in a regular game. It could be attacked as well, but that was like your f7 sort of, right? And now this was not a good move though, because that's the move that lost your bishop effectively, because I took it, I doubled. That was a case of bad double pawns because you can't move either one. And I had to, of course, immediately b4, and I stopped it. And again, I could have played like conservatively like this and like this, but there was no need. I mean, because I had a good activity there, and then I'm up a piece. Yeah. Effectively, you can say you're a piece up. Yeah. I had a cool game actually on one of the Chess 960 games where I had both of the guys' games, both the guys' bishops entombed. All right. Any weaknesses? G2 is guarded by the queen, and F2 is by the queen and the king. Not really. Just over here a little bit. I think we could feel free to move our probably castle king side. I like e4 because I may want f3 or f4, and that would actually activate the queen. Then we can, do stuff like this, get the bishops out, and so forth. So we have a pretty good setup like that. E4, E5. Let's do. I can even think about like a king's gambit kind of thing. That's always fun. Let's see. Can't really attack, so the e pawns aren't really going to come under direct attack by pieces anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even think we need f4. I mean, f4 takes. How about b3 and bishop b2? That's kind of interesting, because then we can attack along this diagonal. So this one can come like maybe h5 or e2. Options with that bishop, but bishop b2, even a3. And I don't see any attack yet, so we go here. So we're going to create that pressure. But the key is though that if whatever they do, that f4 would have more power if it comes. If we get f4, we're going to have more power along that diagonal. Okay, he just guards it. Good. Can we play it like a Roy Lopez sort of? No. Then I can't. Okay, hold on. I'll just get this out. I'm guarding c2 now, but then I'm thinking maybe just like going here and then going c4 or b5 to undermine. Well, he can guard that easily. I don't know. This is more of a fixed position. It's going to be more like strategic. Maybe I'll have to get c3 and d4, but that would kind of block my bishop. I don't know. Maybe we'll just play a closed game for a little while and play on the flanks, AlphaZero style. You got to read that book. You got to read that book about Game Changer, AlphaZero. I just yeah, that was like a topic I was wanted to tweet about a lot, because it's just like every time I read something and so fascinating, I had to write something about it. Definitely check out Game Changer. It's only like, I think I saw a cheaper version. I think if you get the ebook, maybe a few like $8, but I mean, buy the book, a paper copy for like paperback for like 16, 17 bucks or something. It's not bad at all. Definitely worth it. Okay, now I'm kind of liking the look of the H pawn push, because you can attack on the dark squares. Yeah, I feel like it does something. But I mean, we want to develop too. Still, I like the look of it, because we can work on the light squares. Yeah, let's attack those light squares. So basically, my pressure led to him kind of overprotecting a little too much, because, well, you blocked the bishop. You can go here, I guess. But see, since we have pressure along this diagonal, it makes sense to play for h5. Okay, so I gave up my solidity a little bit, but again, it's not like it's to gain something. to gain something. So it's a trade-off. H4, H5. Knight D4. Well, then you allow me to play C3, right? What's the idea? I mean, sure, it blocks my bishop, but it'll support D4. Although this almost makes me want to play for F4 if I can move the knight. I think H5 is reasonable. It's interesting also if I check, insertion, come back somewhere, and then play H5. That could be very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna do that maybe, but I want to be able to come back to E2. So let's kick the knight. Obviously, as everything's guarded. Yeah, the bishop's blocked, but if I don't do something, my bishop's going to be blocked anyway. The only thing was that F4 idea. There may have been something to that with the pressure here and here, but I would have had to move my knight. Oh, I could have gone knight D5. Yeah, that could have been a way to to try to make that knight uncomfortable. To go knight D5, and then F4 would have been the natural choice. But now the knight comes back guarding. Okay. So I think bishop check, provoking G6, coming back. H5 is softens his position. The typical idea you can use though. Insert it. Oh, I see what he wanted. He weakened D3 though, so. But I'm covering now with this. And my bishop wasn't the greatest anyways. We're gonna have bishop C4 actually. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he got anything out of it because I toss in this. I'm still covering. So maybe I don't even get H5 in, but now I'm going for something else. Now, well, I think I still will. But I think I have time to insert G3, chase him back, and then go H5. And again, I still feel like there's general solidity. The only thing that's not solid is that my D3 square is weak. Do I have to play King E2? No, I think what I'll do is I'll probably end up with Queen F1 or something. But again, like once I play G3, it's going to be covered by the bishop, and there's no threats on it, so it shouldn't matter. And then by that time, hopefully, I'll get D4 in, and maybe get the knight in, maybe castle. I may castle queenside. I thought about that. It's almost like the fried liver attack counter strike. But then I just have knight. Doesn't that just win a pawn because I have knight takes D? Yeah, pawn takes allows knight A5. That's really like the fried liver. But see, I don't give you time if I take with a knight, knight take. Yeah, it doesn't give time. Because if you go knight A5, you just lose the queen. Check here. So you're going to have to... Yeah, you don't get 3 pieces because you have... Well, actually, even if you did this, you lose and you get the knight trapped. Even if you had a fork on D3. You do a desperado, you escape with the knight. Yeah, but I think the solidity approach is working because I'm not really finding myself in trouble by playing solidly. And again, I wouldn't really argue this. I wouldn't say it's not solid. The only thing that's not solid is my king's in the center and the D3 pawn, but D3 point. But since the kings are, the pawns are locked up in the center, so I don't think there's really a way to reach the kings here. Obviously, F6 is well defended by the bishop. Maybe G4, G5 can crack it open. I think what I'd rather do at some point is H5, but really that could be tossed in. But really, it's going to be get the pieces in the game and probably play for D4 to break in the middle. Maybe I could even go for knight A3 to B5 and just kind of bother him here. Okay, he's doing a queen stack, I guess. Now, if I take on F6, I have 2 options. Wait, can't I just take on B5? No. Good. But I could take on B5, so I shouldn't rush to it. But takes on C7, takes. He's got the weakness on D3. Okay, I cover the weakness with here. I win a queen. But this might just be this might be strong. If I win a queen piece, I might do that too. Let's see. If I take on B5, he takes on D5. It's nice because I have check and I take it. So I take on b5. He goes bishop d7. Okay. I mean, that's positionally very not very attractive there. Whereas in the queen line game, in the queen line winning line, it's not as clear. I mean, it's a queen for two pieces and a pawn, maybe a pawn too. I mean, the queen is more concrete, definitely more concrete. If you take on f6, the bishop come out more actively to the center, but you also weaken 5. Take on c7. Yeah, let's just take. And if you do knight d3, that's okay, because the knight, remember, the knight's going to get trapped in there if he does that. Probably better off not doing it yet and just leaving the threat there. But then again, I'm going to go queen f1 and cover d3 as well as hit b5. But yeah, so I just go queen f1 and cover. You got to cover d3 before he gets the chance to really harass me on d3. Then I got to play g3, get him out of there. This does kind of look like a standard position, other than the fact that the queen. Now, if I don't do anything, he's going to go rook d8. So let's chase this back. I could take on b5, but get rid of it. Now it'll be more a matter of technique. Was that the door? Yeah, just then we get this one. Ooh, okay. Oh, castle in there. I definitely don't want the knight coming to c5. Let's just stop that once and for all. And then if he goes a6, I'll just go back. But see, the point is I don't want to let his pieces get too active. So we'll just restrict him. Again, don't let the knight come in. So we'll kick the knight back before it gets to g5. Because if I go h5, he actually goes here, then his knight still comes in. I don't need to give him compensation like that. See where he goes. Now we just have to castle queen side, I think, as well. If he goes bishop g5, we'll cover. Yeah, everything will be covered. Just cover everything here. There's no check. And then I think probably that might come. Because we'll have 4 defenders on that. We can also toss in knight. Even knight c2 is potentially pretty reasonable. Knight b8. What's the idea there? Oh, I see. That's all right though. Oh, I missed that one. I missed that one. He wants to attack that. I should have gone knight b5. Gets that one. Yeah, that's useful. The knight's going to be useful in the center there. It's got a little counterplay. I'm going to watch out. Oh, man. Got a lot of counterplay. All right, he's going to get something back. Nicely done. Nicely done. You got some good counterplay there. So I got to let him take. No, you had good counterplay. Well, you got like knight takes here. I have to give you some material back. Check. No, it's still okay. I think I've consolidated then. And this is going to fall. But, and the king, yeah, that's still annoying though. Because like, let's say I make a mistake and go king here in some lines, like maybe get bishop d5. You still get a lot of counterplay. So, good games. Good games. You want to play another one? Or I guess we can see if anyone else is out there. We're getting games in. Let's see. You want to do any more? Maybe we're gonna play like one more game. Oh, we got. Where's that music? There we go. All right. This and so let me know if you want to play any more. We can see if maybe we can play some random person too. Oh, I won the exchange of position. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you had the exchange. I said I had 5 points up. I think what did I have? Queen. Maybe I had some. I don't know what I had because I had 2 pieces for a queen. I think. Queen for 2 pieces. Let's see. Yeah. So if you want to do one more, or if anyone else wants to play. Let's see. Oscar PN. Oh, also from Venezuela. Do we play him? 5-minute game? Alright, let's get one game in. We'll get one. So we're not going to have any increment though. Alright. Let's see here. Things on the weak spots will be this one. So we can attack it right away with c3 or c4. We don't really need to. How about f4? Yeah. They stopped it that way. Yeah, that works too. Oh, let's just take the center. Yeah, do something like this. Maybe I'll castle kingside actually. Alright, so they're attacking this one. I think the best way to handle that is just bring your knight out. Attack it. I know the fort also in the same country. The question is, should I take the knight? I mean, should I chase it away or not? I think I'll ignore it for now because it's not doing any damage. Let's see. Kind of like the Magnus game, remember he just pushed in the center? And this is covered here. And we'll just see what the knight wants to do, if he wants to. Well, the thing is, you're provoking this, because if he does that, he's weakening f6. So that may be good. Oh, actually, I saw something. Yeah, we don't need to let the knight... I have something here. Not much, it's a little greedy, but... Because the thing is, when he goes here, I can the thing is, I can go here and take it with hitting the rook. It's just kind of uncomfortable, you know. Oh, I miscalculated, huh? This one will get taken. Okay, fine. We'll do this, and then I probably won't take it. Maybe just drive both knights to the side. Because the thing is, even if he gets back in the game, I just go g4 now, and he doesn't have any really intrusions. So we're just going to drive... Yeah, knight g5 is a little greedy, you know. We're not going to go for that. And just build up a big center. It's a little risky, but I think it's okay because we're going to drive the pieces to the side and probably castle queenside because it's quicker here. Probably just go a3 and then get the knight out, get the queen out somewhere, and castle like that. Possibly kingside, but no, I don't need kingside castle. Okay, let's see. And the knight get in. No, it can't. Okay, first let's drive this guy back. Not threatening. Because the queen covers everything here. The knight covers this. The knight covers this. The bishop covers this. This. So there's no infiltration. And especially if we castle queenside, we should be comfortable attacking the knight. Now again, if he goes to h6, if Oscar goes to h6, we get a knight g5. But again, it's not really about that. I think it's more about just the central control here. Now, if I really want a pawn, I would just take this one, actually. Maybe I'll just snatch that pawn. That might make more sense. Oh, he's sacking. Nah, it's okay. Because if he takes, checks, we just block with the queen, and we can trade queens, or we could even go something else over there. Okay, now he's just giving me stuff. Oh, I see. No, he wants this. Kind of interesting, actually. But still, like, if I take with the knight... Yeah, I see what he's doing. Okay. Well, this is where I might get greedy. But let's see if I get away with it. Because I do want to get rid of the pawn, and I don't want to take with the pawn and give him this one. I say, if you want that pawn, you got to take here. But the thing is, if he goes f6, I'll take this way. And then I could potentially even take, and if pawn takes, then I entomb another bishop. Well, he might have a way, but it's going to take him a little while to get back in the game. Okay, now I'm not going to waste my time with taking h7. We've already got some pawns. Yeah, let's get ready to castle here. Not mess around with this. And then just get the knight maybe e3 and castle. e3 is more solid. But e3, okay, where is that guy going? Oh, I see. He wants a4. So before he achieves that, we need to go here to kick him out, because he wants a4 and then this fork. So we just attack it right away. Interesting. Okay, well I can attack it this way before it has a chance to get to b3. Okay, I'm down to 2 minutes and no increment though, so gotta be a little more careful here. Knight takes or bishop takes? I kind of like this because I want to play d6 next. I could even take and double the pawns actually. Just kind of ruin the structure. And we may be able to actually entomb that bishop with f6 at some point. Well, that's interesting because it would give us the d6 square. We'll see how that goes. First, I just want to castle my king, and we can work against this. Yeah, it's kind of like in a... yeah, it's going to fall, actually. We'll just take that pawn soon enough. Look at that blunder. Okay, he's got the... Well, now the bishop isn't... He's self-entombed. So we're not going to let him out. Because now this bishop isn't so good either. He could go bishop h5. Yeah, actually, for that reason, I would probably play bishop f3. Again, it's just a restriction game. Well, but the thing is, if you get, the bishop is artificially active on h5. And the nice thing is that actually, now it allows a check, which would lose. So, yeah. So the bishop got out, so we have to anticipate that. And now we get the queen. And that's going to fall next, and that's game. Just maybe 3 check. I guess it doesn't matter too much. You can insert that though. Okay, he just gave up. 8. You could have moved this king, but then I would do, well then I would just take it probably. Or maybe ignore it and play knight, what's the option? Knight takes c5, yeah, that might work. And the queen takes, I have a mate. Or just double the rooks or something. But now it's mate 1. Yeah. Okay, rematch. We'll do one more. Let's do one more. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So he saw the weakness. He goes, again, I think I like the f5 idea. I'll stick with that. Rather than g6, I want to, because this has more direct influence over the center, and we have the option of g6 or g5. There's a lot of times you want to get this. It's kind of like in a dragon setup, reverse, where or like in English, where you get that pushing and. Okay, now he's inviting me to. Hey, no, not maybe. He takes. I can add a 6. If I push, knight d5. I feel like I don't need that though, but it is a tempo. Again, if he takes, he hits the bishop. I go knight f6, which allows me to guard. Knight getting in trouble? Well, he only has so many options. Only has one option. So h5 I can insert. Well, I have bishop here as well. Or I would just force d3. I have a nice insertion though. Keeps the queen out. h5 knight there. No, then he's coming in here. I don't like that. What he's going for? That's a good idea. So yeah, let's just do that. Hit the queen, force d3, and then yeah, the queen's a little out of play. So maybe we can. Well, it can go to c2, but it takes a little longer to activate it, which is good for us. We can actually attack this one because of the pin. Maybe an immediate b5. Oh, that's interesting. No, then he has knight here. Knight e5. Like, for example, I go b5, knight e5 hitting the bishop. So what I want to do is, I think I'm going to have to guard this. But why don't we just play knight c6, guarding e5, and then we're threatening h5, yeah. Well, okay, I blocked this one, but sometimes you could block a bishop temporarily. It's not always such a big deal. We got interlegend. I mean, there's only one move. Yeah, you have to play that. Okay, and then I want to go knight c6. So we stop knight e5. We don't want that bishop to be bothered. Well, now there's a big threat. We just want h5. Win the knight. So they're going to have to play probably f3 or h3. They miss it? Oh, no, of course, they're guarding. I think it's gonna get interesting with this one. Actually, no, because take back. You're controlling that as well, provoking maybe that one. I'm not sure it hurts him out. I mean, the obvious way to control this otherwise would just be here with a direct threat. Kind of like the direct play. The king's open, but I think we're okay there. There's no way to attack it. The bishop is way too far away now, and now the threat is real. So I think if they play f3, it blocks. Again, we're playing against those bishops. This doesn't help their position really, and the knight's gonna go back. Okay, it can actually reroute here to here. It doesn't do much. I don't want the knight to be too active, obviously. And then at some point, maybe I'll just move the bishop and play g5 or something. But I think what we do, though, while we have this... Because the thing is, I want to keep that pressure on the diagonal when the king is there, because we can directly attack this pawn. Oh, did they give me... Not really. Sort of. h5, knight h4. Gotta be trapped. Knight h4 is going to come here. Probably bishop here. So that was useful. Well, they had to go. They had to play something like in this, just tuck it away on c2 or something. But the knight got a little too adventurous. But the key was there were some tricks though. But I had to see the tricks and stop it. Then I think I win it here. Yeah. Okay. They get the pawn in there. Okay, now we have a pin. Okay, now let's play b5, huh? b5 with some ideas. But it doesn't get safe, does it? Is there another way? It gets initiative. I like the initiative. But yeah, the king, you have to realize that the king is going to be a little weak there, though. My king is going to be a little, like, think about it, they just castle. Okay, I think they missed that. Did I win the bishop as well? Yeah, that's stronger than 2. Because the thing is, we take with check, and if they go bishop here, we're going to go e5. Knight takes. Fine. The king, yeah, I mean, I know the king's going to be a little open, though. I got to watch out for that. But I'm going to be up 2 pieces, it looks like, with some complications. But I think what I'll probably do is just play like e6, and the king will just kind of nest on d7. Yeah, I kind of thought about that, something like that. Counterplay. But I take with check, that's a good thing. Now, take back, I'm happy to, okay. So now the king's going to have to go here, and we're going to be able to take here with check. Worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Because now that we're going to win the rook, because the king has to go back. No, we're not, never mind. If he goes back, no, the king's going to go. But we're going to insert this one. But king d1 doesn't work. So that's forced. Oh, we're going to win the knight, huh? Maybe. Then we have this check. Yeah, he would have to go here again. That was a nice thing about that pin, right? Got the fork. And the king goes back again. You can actually check from this way. And then the knight b4 check with tempo. They would have to go here. That's interesting. Takes, takes, check, king up, guarding. Board check. They have push though. No, I don't like that. No need for that. The key though is that the knight will be guarded after checks because of king b7, after which the queen is hanging. It has to move back, and now we're up a lot of pieces. We also have queen a5 back again. Bother the king a little bit. See where he goes. If he goes to c2. Oh no, we don't have knight b4. Block that diagonal, and we can do e6 and so forth. Now it's just a matter of getting the pieces all in the game, get everything out there. Also, if they move, okay, hitting that one. Let's insert that. King b3, then I can go bishop back to f7. But the d5 is important because you want to stop those checks. And then it also hits this one. Okay, now we have this. We can take this one with check, I think. I don't know if that works or not, but it looked like it's possible. I don't know, there's no time to calculate everything. Just go back. Check again. Get the pieces on good squares, you know. Cover the diagonal. And we gotta play kind of fast. Yeah, then we got the bishop check to finish it off. There we go. All right, I think, let's see, is there anyone else looking for games right now? No, not right now. Let's go back. Game, I think I'll call it there. All right, well, that's it. There's some lag in the video. Is it coming through clearly though? The screen refreshes every 5 seconds. Now, oh good. Oh, you were getting bad. Yeah, now it says green. Yeah, I think it's because we got like TV and streaming maximizing the bandwidth. Maximize your pieces, maximize your bandwidth. Will you play in the titled arena? When is the titled arena? Is that tomorrow? Oh, maybe I'll get to play against Magnus for the first time. If I play Magnus, I want to play him in that one. Oh, so it's like starting the game now. It's a few minutes behind, yeah, because right now I'm just looking at the game, and yeah, it's doesn't say the time, but that was several minutes ago, a few minutes lag. That'll be cool. Yeah, are you gonna play in it, Kostas? That'll be good. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I kind of explained 960. I had a better day today than recently. I think I had a few bad days of 960. I started playing good ones, and I had like a losing streak. What are we at now? Around 1950, right? 1955 or something. So not quite there yet. What is that? Did you rematch me? Oop. Oh yeah. Let's play one more. So not quite at 2000, but I think I was back at around 1960, 1970. Then I blew some points. Play one more. Hatch Nietzsche, but Rishi from Canada. Okay. Who was supposed to be friend. Not treating them like friends right now, which is not good. Let's see. So E4. Oh, you are playing. Good.
either winning or losing. But regardless of the outcome of the lyrics,
let's play one interesting game before we finish. Let's see. I have to break my solid streak, and I'm probably going to lose now. But anytime you can strike back with black is good, because you want to throw white off a little bit. Don't let them just do what they want. Because the thing is, I can develop with the tempo, and then, well, maybe I'll just sack. Yeah, I might just sack with g6, but I would have both lines open. But if you don't take it, then you're just kind of, you're letting me get more center and time. Remember that. Remember how in the other game, I gained a lot of time by attacking the queen. So when I attack your queen, I would recommend just get it out of there. You know, get your queen safe ASAP. Is usually pretty good rule of thumb. So I get the first minor piece in the game. I guess that would be like the f7 equivalent, which can be attacked by bishop here, knight here, knight here. Oops. Knight can go here and here and attack. So that's actually even more appealing then. Well, let's see. But see, now you got to watch out for that knight coming. And then that's simultaneously, the idea is just simply e5. Like, if nothing else, I'm just going to get the pawn on e5 and bishop on g6 and so forth, and just develop. That's a target as well, potentially. Maybe I can go with g. And these are a certain type of 960 position where you have the semi-castled king from the start. Sometimes he's kind of fully castled. Like maybe the rook would be here and king's here and the knight's here. You just bring out your knight, you're castled, right? But this is a castle position where you can actually just use this, or you could play normally, just castle and have a normal game. Now he's weakened his light squares. Can we exploit that? Now this opens up this bayonet attack idea. But he stopped some attacks. But I think if we were to check, we'll make him go here. Have a potential target. Yeah, let's start with that. Or should I play like, hard to say. Maybe g5 first. Maybe g5 first and then bishop g6 so I can get all the pieces in the game. Stopping f4 simultaneously. Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's a good thing.
So I activate the queen, activate the bishop, and then I get the bishop behind the pawn. So it's not just about getting a piece out, right? You need to have the correct setup that corresponds, you know, meets the position, needs of the position. And now we've stopped f4 for the time being, so we'll just take it since it's a pin on the pin we have against this pawn on the g file. Oh, I don't know about that. Kind of opened up your light squares a lot. I can imagine a situation where we're going to get those bishops looking in there. Whoops, looking that way and that way. He has to be a little careful here. Well, now, I mean, you have to block with the knight. Now you've given me a lot of light squares. Maybe I can go like this. But he's got a secure hold on that. I don't see a tactical exploitation yet. Kind of like castling and just going rook e8 and e5. Just blow up in the center. Because I think that's more decisive than the a pawn push. You know, just go for the center. If your opponent fails to take the center, then take it. Yeah, we didn't need that stuff over there. It's all about developments. We have 3 pieces out, sword of the queen, basically 4. I mean, the thing about a lot of these positions, it's kind of like in Roy Lopez, where you got a bishop sitting on c1, a rook sitting on a1, but they're already doing stuff where they are, like in the King's Indian, your bishop on c8 is already active where it is. Okay, that was a pretty good move. Or was it?
And that would be
I mean, yeah, you can take it. But I would get a nice bishop. Again, like that bishop is going to be really beautiful on the diagonal. We can really put the heat on him now. Turn up the heat. So he's going to have to go king c2, which is I think that's a concession. To have to do that. Oh, he has that, right. But still, it's a little sketchy. You can always push the a pawn later too, but we don't need that. We're gonna play in the center, right? So. I do want to play e5. g4 is possible at some point. Bishop h6, yeah, bishop h6 and g4, but he has bishop d2, so I don't think it's super clear. I like e5. Well, I like rook. I like bishop. I like that idea too. A couple ways to play this. Oh, he has g5. Yeah, it's annoying. d5 is annoying. I'm anticipating this stuff, and then I also want, if he goes here, I can go back. That'll actually help with this. But I'm mostly anticipating d5. But that would block his bishops. I don't think he's eager to do that. This diagonal is really annoying still. He's got this diagonal, I got that diagonal, but I think this one's a little more annoying. Oh, he wants king b2? Okay, how can we counter that? We play e5 right away? Why not? Break open the middle. We have more development. Oh, he has that move, huh? I should have looked at that. Forgot about that. Maybe a mistake. Let's see. I have to. Okay. So if he moves the bishop, I'm letting him take on here, but then I'm going to get the bishop here in that case. He could take back, and then I'll take... And then I don't lose the pawn. That's the point. I wouldn't lose the pawn in that position. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was the whole point of his pressure on c6. But I am confident about the bishops. I do like my bishops. Yeah, so he gave me the bishop pair. I don't think I want it. Well, I could take with king. Where's the knight going? Let's see. No, yeah, it would have allowed knight c5 check. We don't need that. So this is the simpler way. And then, ooh, if he takes back, I have. Ooh, that's nice. I didn't even think about that. He didn't like that. He didn't like that. Oops, sorry, my friend. Unless you have a forced mate. Yeah, he didn't like the idea. I understand though, because that was kind of nasty. Because then I would have gotten this diagonal and this diagonal. But now I get a queen, which is a little better. Sorry. Yeah, that was a good game though. Played really well. Up to that point. Each game, it was one mistake you made. The last two games. The other game was the knight. It didn't seem like it was that big of a deal, but when you're thinking in terms of not allowing your pieces to get trapped, allowing knight takes b3 and then b4, your bishop was entombed. Don't give him an entombed bishop. Don't let your bishop be worse than a pawn, right? And then, because I mean, he's on the back ring, not even on the second ring. Yeah. Next time we will play better. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I played a little sloppy too. Wasn't my best game. Well, I hung something, right? But remember, Kostas, watch out for that queen. I mean, look, just take it. Just make me prove it, you know? Again, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. I'm going to go G6, and I'm getting a lot of activity. I get that. But you can just go Bishop D3 and you're up a pawn, you know? So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just take it. It probably wasn't sound to me to play F5. Okay, so I attack it, and then I'm getting ready to attack it again. But now you weaken the light squares, which I immediately want to hit with the bishop, so I did this first. And now both my bishops can come from the side. What else do I have? Yeah, I think the queen h7 idea made sense. And then I wanted this. I thought you were going to play this. I think you could have played d5 here. Let me see if the computer likes that. I imagine d5 is... I mean, I'm going to get e6, but the thing is then you open your bishop up again. So I think d5 probably you're better here. Yeah, it's liking d5, even f4, because now your knight covers. Now it's fluctuating. It's realizing that black is not in so much trouble, but... okay, now d5 is possible. But even d5, I think it's not bad. Like, you go here, I'd probably go back to d8, right? Oh, I would take on d3, and then, that's why I realized. But is it that big of a deal? Like, where am I going? Where am I going? Am I going to play g4 or something? Yeah, yeah. 95 g4, so you're going to get this. It's kind of hard to see, but... What if the queen takes? Same thing, just taking the knight 95. And again, black's development's pretty good here. Because your queen had to mess around. Yeah, I like bishop g7. Or g4. That's more concrete, because then you have to worry about f4. Yeah, g4 is nice. Rook f1, let's say, bishop g7. And then black is actually much better. So the thing is, like, yeah, he's behind in development. You're going to get pressure on the f file, and this bishop is doing nothing. That's the worry about playing d5, which is probably why he didn't want it. So, all right, well, good games, guys. Cool. Que buenas partidas. He said, que buenas partidas las de hoy. Said, good games from today. Thank you. Gracias, Moise. I am not titled. Oh, it's a titled arena. Right, right. So you got to have, you know, whatever, NMCM. Is LM 2400, I think, on Lead Chess? Cool. Got some good games in today. Again, better than most days, so I'll take what I can get. And we'll get some more in soon. Hopefully that helped explain about Chess 960, some of the basic strategies from Chess 960 and regular chess, and how Magnus plays. So, cool. All right, you guys have a good evening or morning, wherever you are.